Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita. There is a text that has traveled more than 2,000 years to reach you, and it arrives not as a relic, but as a living conversation. The Bhagavad Gita, the Song of the Lord, is traditionally attributed to the sage Vyasa and is believed to have taken its present form somewhere around the 3rd century before the Common Era. It was embedded within the great Indian epic, the Mahabharata, placed at the precise moment before a catastrophic war, and it has never stopped speaking since. The text is a dialogue, 18 chapters of exchange between a warrior named Arjuna and his charioteer Krishna, who is revealed gradually and then overwhelmingly to be the Lord of all existence. The Gita's role is singular. It addresses the human being who has arrived at the edge of everything they believed about themselves and found it insufficient. It is a conversation about action, identity, devotion, and the nature of the self that will not stay still long enough to be pinned down. What follows is that conversation read aloud in full, from the first verse to the last. Book 1, The Fever. Canto 1, The Griefs. The blind king asked, "On the field of truth, on the field of the Kurush, my sons and the sons of Pandu have gathered, hungry for war. What are they doing, Sanjaya?" Sanjaya said, "The armies are vast. The noise is like the ocean. The conch shells are screaming, the sound that breaks the hearts of the earth and the sky." But the prince, the archer, standing in his great chariot drawn by white horses, looked out at the faces of the enemy. He saw fathers, he saw teachers, he saw uncles, he saw the boys he had played with in the dust. A great heaviness seized him. His bow, the Gandhava, slipped from his hand. His skin burned. His mouth went dry. He slumped onto the floor of the chariot. "O Krishna," he whispered, "I cannot kill them. I do not want victory. I do not want the kingdom. What is a king if his family is dead? These are the people for whom we want the gold. If I kill them, the grain will rot. The women will be lost. The ancestors will fall from heaven into the mud. I would rather they kill me, unarmed and unresisting." Overwhelmed by pity, his eyes filled with tears, the prince sat in the silence of the waiting war. Canto 2, The Secret of the Stranger. The charioteer smiled. It was a cold smile right in the middle of the sorrow. He said, "You grieve for those who should not be grieved for, and you speak wise words, but the wise grieve neither for the living nor the dead." Listen to me, Prince. There was never a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor these kings, and there will never be a time when we stop existing. We are the ancients. Just as the boy becomes the man, and the man becomes the elder, so the dweller in the body moves to a new body. The wise are not confused by a change of shirt. The senses touch the world, O Prince. Heat and cold, pleasure and pain, they come and they go. They are winter clouds. Endure them. The real cannot be destroyed. The unreal cannot be born. Know that which pervades this universe is indestructible. No one can kill the imperishable. Bodies end, the dweller remains. He who thinks he kills and he who thinks he is killed both are ignorant. He does not kill, nor is he killed. He is not born, he does not die. He is unborn, eternal, constant, and ancient. He is not cut by the sword. He is not burned by the fire. He is not wet by the water. He is not dried by the wind. He is the stranger who cannot be touched. So stand up and fight, not for the gold, not for the glory. Make pleasure and pain the same, make gain and loss the same. Fight because it is the law. If you shrink from the battle, you feed the fear. You have the right to the work, but never to the fruit of the work. Do not let the fruit be your motive, but do not be attached to laziness either. Perform the action, but drop the hunger for the result. This balance is called yoga. The prince asked, "How does a man of steady wisdom sit? How does he walk? How does he speak?" The charioteer said, "When he abandons all the desires of the heart and is satisfied in the Atman by the self, then he is called steady. He draws his senses in, like a tortoise drawing its limbs into its shell. The world flows around him, but he does not get wet." Canto 3, The Wheel of Work. The prince was confused. "You praise wisdom, O charioteer, but you push me into this terrible work of war. If wisdom is better than action, why do I have to dip my hands in blood?" The charioteer said, "There are two paths in this world, O sinless one, the path of knowledge for the thinkers, the path of action for the doers, but you cannot reach the end by simply not starting. You cannot just sit down and say, 'I am free.' Nature will grab you by the neck and force you to act. He who sits with his eyes closed but thinks of women in his heart is a hypocrite, but he who controls the senses and does the work without attachment, he is the hero. Do the necessary work. Work is better than idleness. Even your body would fall apart without work. The world is a wheel of sacrifice. The rain comes from the sacrifice. The grain comes from the rain. The living beings come from the grain. If you do not turn the wheel, you are a thief who eats stolen bread. For me, there is nothing to do in the three worlds. I want nothing. I have nothing to gain, yet I work. If I stopped working, the worlds would perish. I would be the author of chaos. So surrender your actions to me. Fight without fever. Fight without the eye." Canto 4, The Ancient Fire. The charioteer said, "I taught this imperishable yoga to the sun. The sun taught it to the first man, but the long tooth of time has eaten the knowledge." The prince frowned. "You were born recently. The sun was born eons ago. How can I believe that you taught him?" The charioteer smiled the smile of the deep time. "Many births have passed for me and for you. I remember them all. You remember none. Though I am unborn, though I am the lord of creatures, I govern my own nature and I manifest through my own magic. Whenever the law collapses, whenever the chaos rises, I loose myself forth. To protect the good, to destroy the wicked, to set the law back on its feet, I am born age after age." What is action? What is inaction? Even the poets are confused. He who sees inaction in the midst of action and action in the midst of inaction, he is the wise man. The fire of knowledge burns all deeds to ash. Just as a blazing fire turns firewood to dust, so the fire of wisdom turns all karma to dust. There is no purifier in this world like knowledge. The man of faith gains the knowledge. The man of doubt perishes. For the doubter, there is no this world, no next world, and no joy. Cut this doubt with the sword of the self. Stand up, O Prince. Canto 5, The City of Nine Gates. The prince asked again, "You praise the dropping of action, then you praise the taking up of action. Tell me clearly, which one is better?" The charioteer said, "Both lead to the highest bliss, but of the two, the yoga of action is safer for you. The renouncer is hard to find, but the man who acts without hating and without wanting is the true renouncer." Fools say knowledge and action are different. The wise know they are one. The knower sees that I do nothing at all. Even while seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, he knows. It is only the senses playing with the sense objects. He places his actions in the eternal, like a lotus leaf in the water. The mud does not stick to him. The dweller in the body sits happily in the city of 9 gates. He neither acts nor causes others to act. He does not take on the sins or the good deeds of anyone. The knowledge is covered by ignorance. That is why creatures are bewildered. The wise man sees the same self in the learned priest, in the cow, in the elephant, in the dog, and in the one who eats the dog. He who has conquered the mind has already crossed the river. The real is flawless and equal everywhere, and so he lives in the real. The man who knows the bliss of the eternal does not chase the pleasures of the senses. He who finds his joy inside, his light inside, his peace inside, that yogi becomes the eternal. The sages whose sins have been burned away by knowledge, whose doubts are split open, whose minds are disciplined, they are already free, even while the body is still breathing. Canto 6. The Sitting. He who does his duty without leaning on the fruit is the true monk and the true yogi, not the man who lights no fire and performs no rites. Raise the self by the self. Do not let the self sink, for the self is the only friend of the self, and the self is the only enemy of the self. How should he sit? Alone in a clean place. The seat should be firm, neither too high nor too low, covered with cloth, antelope skin, and kasha grass, holding the body, head, and neck erect and still, looking at the tip of the nose, not looking around. The prince said, "This yoga is hard, O Krishna. The mind is restless, turbulent, strong, and stubborn. It is as hard to tame as the wind." The charioteer nodded. Without doubt, the mind is hard to tame, but it can be held by constant practice and by not caring for the toys of the world. When the lamp does not flicker in a windless place, that is the likeness of the yogi. "And if he fails?" asked the prince. "If he has faith but his mind wanders, does he perish like a torn cloud? Does he lose both worlds?" "No, my friend, the doer of good never comes to a bad end. If he falls from the yoga, he is born again in the house of the pure and prosperous, or he is born into a family of wise yogis. There he picks up the thread of his old practice, and he is carried toward the real, even against his will. The yogi is greater than the ascetic, greater than the scholar, greater than the man of rituals. Therefore, be a yogi, O Arjuna." Book 2, The Monster and the Lover. Canto 7, The Thread. The charioteer said, "Hear, O prince, how you can know me fully. I will give you the knowledge and the taste of the knowledge. When you know this, there is nothing left in this world to know. Among thousands of men, one strives for perfection. Among those who strive, one knows me in truth. Earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, reason, and the ego, these are my lower nature. This is the mask I wear, but look deeper. Inside the mask is my higher nature. It is the life force that holds up the world. All beings are born from this womb. I am the origin of the whole universe, and I am its grave. There is nothing higher than me, O Prince. All this is strung on me like pearls on a thread. I am the wetness in the water. I am the light in the moon and the sun. I am the sound in the empty sky. I am the manliness in men. I am the sweet fragrance in the earth. I am the heat in the fire. I am the life in all the living. I am the silence of the ascetics. The world is deluded by the three ropes. It does not see me, who am beyond the ropes. My magic is hard to cross. Only those who surrender to the real can step over this shadow. 4 kinds of men come to me: the man in pain, the man who wants gold, the man who wants to know, and the wise man. Of these, the wise man is the best. He does not want anything from me. He wants me. At the end of many births, the wise man comes to me, seeing that I am all there is, that Vasudeva is everything. Such a great soul is very hard to find. Those whose minds have been stolen by desires run to the lesser gods, following their own natures. Whatever form a man worships with faith, I make that faith firm in him. But the fruit of those who worship the lesser gods is limited. Those who worship me come to me. Canto 8, The Imperishable. The prince asked, "What is the real? What is the self? What is action? And who is the Lord of the sacrifice here in this body? And how at the time of death are you to be known?" The charioteer answered, "The real is the imperishable. The self is the nature of the real. Action is the force that snaps the seed into a living being. At the hour of death, he who remembers me and drops the body comes to my state. Do not doubt this. Whatever a man remembers at the last moment, that is where he goes. The thought at the end is the seed of the next beginning. Therefore, remember me at all times and fight. With your mind and reason fixed on me, you will come to me. Close all the gates of the body, lock the mind in the heart, hold the breath in the head, chant the single syllable Om. Remembering me, the traveler leaves the body and reaches the supreme goal. But those who go to the heavens return. Even the world of the Creator is a house of sorrow. It lasts for 1 billion years, but it ends. Only those who come to me never take birth again. There are 2 paths by which the traveler departs this world, and they have been known since the beginning. The first is the path of light, the path of fire, of day, of the bright half of the moon, of the 6 months when the sun moves north. Those who die on this path go to the imperishable. They do not return. The second is the path of smoke, the path of night, of the dark half of the moon, of the 6 months when the sun moves south. Those who die on this path go to the moon. They enjoy the light of the gods for a season, and then they return. These 2 paths, the bright and the dark, are considered the eternal paths of this world. By one, a man goes and does not come back. By the other, he returns. The yogi who knows these 2 paths is not confused by either one. Canto 9, The Royal Secret. I will tell you the deepest secret. It is the king of knowledge, the king of secrets. It is the direct experience of the real. It is the law of righteousness. It is easy to practice, and it is imperishable. By me in my unmanifest form, this whole universe is woven. All beings dwell in me, but I do not dwell in them. Look at my divine mystery. I support all beings, I feed all beings, yet I am not contained by them. Just as the mighty wind blows everywhere, but rests always in the sky, so all beings rest in me. Fools despise me when I wear a human body. They see the mask, but they do not know the actor. They do not know I am the great Lord of all beings. Their hopes are vain. Their actions are vain. They are lost in the maze of the goblins. I am the father of this world. I am the mother. I am the grandfather. I am the fire. I am the offering. I am the heat. I am the rain. I am death, and I am immortality. I am what is, and I am what is not. Those who follow the rituals go to the moon. They enjoy the pleasures of the gods. But when the merit is spent, they fall back into the world of mortals. They go up and down like a bucket in a well. But those who worship me alone, thinking of no other, I carry what they lack, and I preserve what they have. If you offer me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water with love, I will eat it. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you give, whatever you burn, do it as an offering to me. I am the same to all beings. I hate no one, I love no one, but those who worship me with love, they are in me, and I am in them. Even if a man of terrible conduct worships me, he must be considered right, for he has made the right resolve. Quickly he becomes a soul of the law. O son of Kunti, declare this boldly, my devotee never perishes. Canto 10. The Glories. Listen again, O strong-armed one. I will speak for your delight. Neither the gods nor the great sages know my origin. I am the source of the gods and the sages. I am the self, O prince, seated in the heart of all creatures. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end. Of the Adityas I am Vishnu, of lights I am the radiant sun, of the Maruts I am the storm, of the stars I am the moon. Of the Vedas I am the song, of the senses I am the mind, of living things I am consciousness. Of the great sages I am Brig, of words I am the single syllable Om, of sacrifices I am the sacrifice of silence, of things that do not move I am the Himalayas. Of trees I am the Ashvatha, of weapons I am the thunderbolt, of beasts I am the lion, of birds I am the eagle. Of purifiers I am the wind, of warriors I am Rama, of fish I am the shark, of rivers I am the Ganges. Of the sciences I am the science of the self, of those who debate I am the logic that holds, of letters I am the first letter, of compound words I am the word of two joined into one. I am the dice of the gamblers, I am the splendor of the splendid, I am the victory, I am the resolve, I am the silence of secret things, I am the wisdom of the wise. I am the seed of all beings. There is no creature, moving or unmoving, that can exist without me. Whatever has glory, or power, or beauty, know that it is born from a single spark of my light. But what is the use of all these details? I support this entire universe with a single fragment of myself, and I remain. Canto 11. The Tarot. The prince said, "You have told me of your glories. My delusion is gone, but I want to see your form as the Lord. I want to see the face behind the mask. If you think I am strong enough to bear it, show me your imperishable self." The charioteer said, "Behold, O Prince, hundreds and thousands of forms, various, divine, many-colored, but you cannot see me with these human eyes. I give you the divine eye. Behold my yoga of power." Then the great Lord of Yoga revealed his supreme form. Many mouths, many eyes, many marvelous visions, ornaments of divine light, weapons raised in 1,000,000 hands, wearing garlands and robes of celestial fire. If the light of 1,000 suns were to blaze all at once in the sky, that would be like the splendor of that great being. There in the body of the God of gods, the prince saw the whole universe gathered in one. His hair stood on end. He bowed his head. He folded his hands. He whispered, "I see the gods in your body, O Lord. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus. I see the ancient sages and the serpents. I see arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes on every side, limitless. I see no beginning, no middle, no end. You are a mass of brilliance, blazing like fire, hard to look at, burning the eyes. But I see your teeth, terrible tusks like the fires of the last day. I see the sons of Dhritarashtra and the kings of the earth and Bhishma and Drona and Karna rushing headlong into your mouths. Some are stuck between your teeth, their heads crushed to powder. As moths rush into a blazing fire to die, so these worlds rush into your mouths. You lick up the worlds with your tongues of flame. Your rays scorch the universe. Tell me who you are, O terrible one. I bow to you. Have mercy. I do not know your purpose." The monster spoke. His voice was like the thunder of a collapsing world. "I am time, the destroyer of worlds. I have grown ripe to swallow the peoples. Even without you, all these warriors standing in the enemy ranks will cease to be. Therefore stand up, win the glory, conquer the enemy and enjoy the opulent kingdom. They have already been killed by me. You are just the tool, O Sabyasachi. You are just the arrow in my hand. Fight, do not tremble." The prince, shaking with fear, stammered, "You are the wind, you are death. You are the fire, you are the moon, you are the father of the world. Hail to you 1,000 times. Hail from the front, hail from the back. I called you Krishna, I called you friend. I slapped you on the back, I joked with you at dinner. Forgive me, I did not know who you were. I have seen what no man has seen, but my heart is torn with fear. Show me your gentle form again. Show me the four-armed shape. Hide this mouth of fire." The Great One softened. He withdrew the cosmic form and became the friend again. "Do not fear, do not be bewildered. See me as I was before. This form that you have seen, it cannot be won by the Vedas, or by sacrifice, or by study, or by giving, or by ritual. Only by devotion that does not waver can I be known and seen and entered into, O Arjuna. He who does my work, who is devoted to me, who is free from attachment, who has no enmity toward any creature, he comes to me." Canto 12, The Devotion. The prince asked, "Some worship you as the person made manifest. Others worship the imperishable beyond form, who knows the yoga best." The charioteer said, "Those who fix their minds on me, worshipping me with supreme faith, I consider them the most perfect yogis. But those who worship the unmanifest, the unthinkable, the unchanging, the immobile, they also come to me. But their path is harder. It is hard for the embodied soul to love the formless. So set your mind on me, If you cannot do that, practice the yoga of repetition. If you cannot do that, work for my sake. If you cannot do that, give up the fruit of all action. Be self-controlled. The peace follows the letting go. He who hates no creature, who is friendly and compassionate, free from I and mine, balanced in pain and pleasure, forgiving, content, steady in meditation, that man is dear to me. He who does not agitate the world, and is not agitated by the world, who is free from joy, anger, fear, and anxiety, he is dear to me. He who wants nothing, who is pure and expert, who sits unconcerned, who has given up all undertakings, he is dear to me. He who neither rejoices nor hates, neither grieves nor desires, who has renounced both good and evil, that man of devotion is dear to me. He who is the same to friend and foe, the same in honor and disgrace, the same in cold and heat, in pleasure and pain, who is free from all attachment, who holds praise and blame as one, who is quiet, content with whatever comes, who has no home and no fixed place, whose mind is steady, that man of devotion is exceedingly dear to me. But those who honor this immortal law as I have spoken it, regarding me as the supreme, devoted, and faithful, they are exceedingly dear to me. Book 3, The Freedom. Canto 13, The Field and the Knower. The charioteer said, "This body, O Prince, is called the field. He who knows it is called the knower of the field. Understand that I am the knower in all fields. The knowledge of the field and its knower, that is what I call true knowledge." What is the field? It is the earth, the water, the fire, the air, the space. It is the ego, the reason, and the unmanifest. It is the 11 windows of the senses. It is desire, hatred, pleasure, and pain. It is the solid world that you can touch and measure. It is the landscape of the dream. And what is the knowledge? It is humility. It is honesty. It is patience. It is the service of the master. It is the lack of attachment to sons, wives, and houses. It is the unwavering love for me. It is the realization that the I is not the actor, but the witness of the acting. I will tell you of that which is to be known. It is the real. It has no beginning. It is neither is nor is not. Its hands and feet are everywhere. Its eyes, heads, and mouths are everywhere. It shines through the senses, yet it has no senses. It is unattached, yet it supports everything. It is outside and inside. It is far and near. It is the light of lights beyond the darkness. Nature and the stranger are both without beginning. Nature is the womb of cause and effect. The stranger is the one who experiences pleasure and pain. When the stranger gets lost in the field, he believes he is the one who suffers. But when he wakes up, he sees that he was always the king, watching the play from the shadows. He who sees that all the variety of creatures rests in the one and spreads out from the one, he reaches the real. He who sees the Supreme Lord dwelling equally in all beings, the imperishable within the perishable, he truly sees. And seeing the Lord everywhere, he does not destroy the self by the self. He goes to the highest goal. Canto 14, The 3 Ropes. I will tell you of the 3 ropes. They are born of nature, and they bind the stranger to the heavy body. The first rope is light. It is stainless, luminous, and healthy. It binds the soul with the desire for happiness and the desire for knowledge. It is a golden chain, but it is still a chain. The second rope is fire. It is born of passion and thirst. It binds the soul with the fever of action. It makes a man run until he drops, hungry for the fruit that always stays out of reach. The third rope is mud. It is born of ignorance. It deludes all beings. It binds with laziness, sleep, and the dark fog of the mind. It is a heavy stone tied to the neck. When the light is dominant, a man sees clearly. When the fire is dominant, a man is restless. When the mud is dominant, a man is blind. He who dies in the light goes to the worlds of the gods. He who dies in the fire is born among the strivers. He who dies in the mud is born in the wombs of beasts. The wise man sees that the ropes are the only actors. He sees the ropes playing with the ropes. He stays apart, like a man on a hill watching a battle in the valley. He is called the overcomer of the ropes. He is the same in honor and disgrace. He is the same to friend and foe. He has stepped out of the machine. The prince asked, "What are the signs of the man who has overcome the 3 ropes? How does he behave? And how does he cross beyond the ropes?" The charioteer said, "He does not hate the light when it comes, or the fire, or the mud. He does not long for them when they go. He sits apart, unmoved, saying only, 'The ropes are at work.' He is the same in pleasure and pain. Gold and a clod of earth are equal to him. The pleasant and the unpleasant are equal to him. He is steady when they praise him. He is steady when they blame him. He crosses beyond the ropes by devotion to me alone and nothing else. I am the ground of the imperishable, of the undying, of the everlasting law, and of absolute bliss." Canto 15, The Upside-Down Tree. The stories speak of an eternal banyan tree. Its roots are in the sky. Its branches are below. Its leaves are the sacred songs. He who knows this tree knows the secret of the world. Its branches grow downward and upward, fed by the 3 ropes. Its roots are tangled in the world of men, binding them with the hooks of action. You cannot see its form. You cannot see its beginning or its end. Take the sharp sword of non-attachment and cut down this deep-rooted tree. Then seek the goal from which there is no return. Surrender to the ancient person from whom this old magic first flowed. There are 2 persons in this world, the perishable and the imperishable. The perishable is the collection of all beings. The imperishable is the witness. But there is a highest person. He is the Lord who enters the 3 worlds and supports them. I am that supreme person. I am the fire in the stomach that digests the food. I am seated in the heart of all. Memory, knowledge, and forgetfulness come from me. I am the author of the Vedas and the knower of the Vedas. Knowing me thus, the wise man becomes all-knowing. Canto 16, The Wolf and the God. There are 2 kinds of beings in this world, the divine and the demonic. The divine are born for freedom. The demonic are born for the cage. The divine have courage, purity, and truth. They have no anger and no pride. They are the gods in human skin. But the demonic, the wolves, they do not know what to do or what to avoid. They say, "The world is without truth. It has no foundation. It has no God. It is born only of lust." Holding this view, these ruined souls rise as enemies for the destruction of the world. They are filled with insatiable desire. They are hypocrites full of vanity. They think, I have gained this today, I will gain that tomorrow. This enemy is dead, I will kill the others too. I am the Lord, I am the enjoyer, I am rich and well-born, who else is like me? Self-important, stubborn, drunk with wealth, they perform sacrifices in name only for show. I throw these haters into the wombs of monsters. They sink down to the lowest state, age after age. 3 are the gates of hell: lust, anger, and greed. They are the destroyers of the self. Let a man abandon these 3. He who abandons the teaching of the scripture and follows only the pull of his own desire, he does not reach perfection or happiness or the highest goal. Let the scripture be your guide in knowing what should be done and what should not be done. Knowing what the scripture teaches, do your work in this world. Canto 17, The 3 Faiths. The prince asked, what about those who neglect the law books but worship with faith? Is their faith made of light, fire, or mud? The charioteer said, the faith of a man is the man himself, whatever his faith is that he is. Men of light worship the gods, men of fire worship the titans, men of mud worship the ghosts and the dead. Even the food you eat is threefold. The light food is juicy, soothing, and firm. It gives life and health. The fire food is bitter, sour, salty, and hot. It gives pain and sickness. The mud food is stale, tasteless, putrid, and cold. It is the food of the sleeper. The sacrifice made because it is right is the sacrifice of light. The sacrifice made for show or for reward is the sacrifice of fire. The sacrifice made without faith or order is the sacrifice of mud. Austerity of the body is worship of the gods, the teachers, and the wise. It is purity, honesty, and the refusal to harm. Austerity of speech is the word that does not wound, truthful, kind, helpful, and the quiet practice of reciting the sacred. Austerity of the mind is stillness, gentleness, silence, self-restraint, and the purifying of the heart. These 3 austerities, practiced with the highest faith and without hunger for the fruit, are the austerities of light. Om Tat Sat. These are the 3 words of the real. Om is the beginning, Tat is the letting go of the fruit, Sat is the goodness and the reality. Whatever is done without faith is nothing. It is dust in the wind. Canto 18, The Letting Go. The prince asked the final question, O mighty armed one, I want to know the truth of renunciation and letting go. How are they different? The charioteer said, renunciation is the dropping of actions that spring from desire. Letting go is the dropping of the fruit of all action. Some sages say all action should be abandoned. Others say sacrifice, giving, and discipline should never be dropped. Listen to my verdict. Sacrifice, giving, and discipline are the purifiers of the wise. They must be done, but they must be done without attachment. This is my final and best belief. He who abandons work because it is hard or painful, that is the letting go of fire. He gets no reward. He who performs work because it is his duty, dropping the attachment and the fruit, that is the letting go of light. It is impossible for the embodied soul to drop action entirely, but he who lets go of the fruit is called a man of letting go. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower, These are the three that drive the work. When the knowledge is light, you see the one in the many. When the knowledge is fire, you see the many as separate. When the knowledge is mud, you cling to one small thing as if it were the whole. The worker of light is free from I. The worker of fire is greedy and cruel. The worker of mud is lazy, stubborn, and slow. Now listen to the secret of happiness. The happiness of light is like poison at first, but like nectar at the end. It is born of the peace of the self. The happiness of fire is like nectar at first, but like poison at the end. It is born of the senses. The happiness of mud is a delusion from start to finish. It is born of sleep and negligence. There is no being on earth or among the gods in heaven who is free from these three ropes of nature. But look, Prince, the work of the priest, the warrior, the merchant, and the servant is divided by the ropes of their own nature. A man reaches perfection by being devoted to his own work. Better is your own law, though imperfect, than the law of another, well performed. Doing the work born of your own nature, you incur no sin. He whose reason is unattached everywhere, who has conquered the self and is free from desire, reaches the supreme state of inaction. He becomes the real. Devote all your acts to me. Let me be your highest goal. Take refuge in the yoga of the mind. Keep your thoughts always in me. By my grace you will pass over all difficulty, but if from self-importance you do not listen, you will be lost. If you hide behind the I and say, I will not fight, that resolve is empty. Your nature will compel you. You are bound by your own action, which is born from your own being. What you do not wish to do out of delusion, you will do even against your will. I have given you the knowledge. It is the secret of secrets. Reflect on it fully, and then do as you wish. But listen once more to my supreme word. Because you are so dear to me, I will speak for your good. Fix your mind on me, be devoted to me. Sacrifice to me, bow to me, you will come to me. I promise you this, for you are my friend. Abandon all laws. Come to me alone for shelter. Do not grieve. I will release you from all sins. This is never to be spoken to one who has no discipline, or no devotion, or no desire to listen, or who speaks ill of me. But he who teaches this supreme secret to those who love me, he shall come to me without doubt. And there is no one among all human beings who does more for me than he, nor shall there be any other on earth more dear to me. Has this been heard by you, O Prince, with a focused mind? Is the delusion of your ignorance destroyed? The prince stood up. He picked up his bow. His eyes were clear. He said, My delusion is destroyed. I have remembered who I am through your grace. I stand firm. My doubt is gone. I will do as you say. Sanjaya said to the blind king, Thus I heard this marvelous dialogue between the great soul and the prince. By the grace of Vyasa I heard this secret. Wherever there is Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, and wherever there is Arjuna, the archer, there, I am sure, is fortune, victory, prosperity, and the steady law.